Premises are hard to see, and that is just fine with me. Modus ponens is the plan. Serve you logic, I am.
Converted man here. There's this really big phenomenon going on that you can't help but notice on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube. Everyone seems to be talking about it. Lots of people are very passionate about this, and they're going out and they're saying, I've experienced this. This is really wonderful. And you have to look at it this certain way. You have to go to this place. And if you don't go to this place, you can't find this and you can't find that. But some people think that you have to go to a certain place to get the better ones than the other. Or that there's really a better way to go about it. A better strategy, if you will. But everyone seems to be doing this, and it's awfully hard to be on the sidelines and not participate in Pokemon Search. Talking about Search. Wasn't talking about Pokemon Go. You thought I was talking about Pokemon Go. That's what the video said. Haha, I'm talking about Search. Church and God. God and Church. The two almost are synonymous, although less and less people are attending church, which is good. But still, this idea is a phenomenon. And it's one that's gone on for quite some time. Now, Pokemon Go might fade away, and it probably eventually will when something better or more interesting comes along. Something that doesn't like crash every 5 seconds, for example. But there is a difference between these two phenomena. Church actively grabs people, actively goes out and recruits people. Typically, not all religions do this. But most do. Many do. And those that don't are just kind of there. But it's weird when you pass a church, and then you pass another church, and another one, and another one. And there's so many in one area. And there's places in the Pokemon Go where it's like you pass all these gyms, one after the other, you know. Religion and God have been with us so long that they've become commonplace. But unlike Pokemon, where at least you can get a Pikachu, you can't really get God. Well, you can, but you can't, but you sort of can. You can experience something. But some people can't experience anything at all, and some people don't. Isn't that odd? Different people have different ideas about God, and where you are born and where you live will change and influence your ideas about God, as well as how you were brought up and who you hang out with and things that you're exposed to. All of this will influence what decision you make about what God that you happen to believe in or that you happen to not believe in. And unlike the Pokemon game, which no one, I don't think, I certainly hope that there isn't anyone out there that says Pokemon's real, lots of people say that God is real. They'll say, God bless, that was a miracle, thanks be to God, etc. Isn't it frustrating for the doctor who finishes a 2-hour surgery to not hear a word of thanks, and instead the patient is praising God? There was a hospital that said miracles happen here daily, and it just angered me that the sign would say that. It should say science happens here every day. But the hospital is funded by religious organizations, so that's what they say. Nurses believe in God, and some doctors do too, but others don't. But still, those that don't are in the minority. So it seems like everybody else is catching God with God Go. That's the new app, by the way, and if you make that, I get the profit, or at least some of it. Everyone's out there doing this thing and enjoying themselves, And us pesky skeptics are like, yeah, but you can't even tell which one's the best. It's Mewtwo? Yeah, everyone's, you know what? Those people are saying it's Mew. But in reality, the best is Ditto. Because it can be anything, dang it. Well, but it's weaker once it transforms. Yeah, that's technically true. But it can be anything, so it's the most powerful, right? But it's not, because then it's weak. Well, there is no most powerful. There's just the one that you like the most. Probably Charizard. Most people love Charizard. I don't know why. It's a dragon, I guess. I like Diglett. Why? I don't know. Porygon as well. That would be another one. This episode is going to become Pokemon I like if I don't shut up. Okay, so this is an episode now? Whatever this video is. My point is, it's out there. Now, Pokemon will fade and turn into something else. Pokemon Go will do that. Pokemon's been around a while, so is Magic the Gathering, by the way. And I think of the card game first before I think of the Game Boy games and the anime and things like this, because I'm most familiar with the card game. Magic the Gathering card game has been around for, it seems like, ever. And Pokemon, when it became a card game, started with the same company, Wizards, and then Nintendo kind of took it over after a while, and they've been running it since. These things keep going because this series is, and things are still advertising it, and it's still popular. And Pokemon Go is just another way for it to remain relevant, but it has to change or it dies. The church has changed over time. You'll still find the church where they're all super traditional, and my word, are they boring. Have you ever been to one of these churches where everybody is dressed up, where no musical instruments are played, because, you know, and I went to a church where the men went to a different service than the women. So, yeah, you can find the traditional churches. They're still around, but I would submit that they're a dying breed. Because you have to change with the society that you're in, or you die. The Catholic Church is desperately trying to remain relevant. And God is constantly changing how it is in order to remain relevant. Now, God was on a mountain. Now it's in the sky, and now it's beyond space and time. Pretty sure we won't be able to go to beyond space and time to check to see if it's there. But even if we did do that, I'm pretty sure that the religious people would just say that we missed him. He turned around the corner, and we just missed him. Darn it. Well, poop on us. Well, actually, you can't see God anyways, because seeing is physical, and you have to do it with your spiritual eyeballs that aren't really eyeballs, because eyeballs don't exist in the spiritual realm, I guess. But Pokemon don't exist. We can draw them, we can talk about them, we can think about them, we can tell others about them. And we might hate them, or like them, or not care one way or the other. But everyone agrees on what a freaking Oddish is. Once you've seen an Oddish, you know what that is. No one disagrees about that. But everyone seems to disagree about what God is. When a fictionalized world is more real than God, that should give us pause. And for those of us already in the skeptical community, we already know this. And maybe you're like, Deacon Ferdinand, you're just talking to the choir, you're preaching to us, give us a challenge. Alright, what about ghosts? Ghosts are different than God. Why, we almost have a consensus on what ghosts are. They're the spirit of a departed person. So where would you find them? In the morgue? Well, that's too scary. I'm not going to the morgue. The graveyard. Ah, yes, the cemetery full of ghosts. So I'm gonna go to my local cemetery and find and bust some ghosts, or not bust them because busting doesn't make me feel good. All right, here I am at the Perpetual Cemetery. Blocks, please pay Patreon by becoming a pledge like Jacob Santos or Luis Castro, Joseph Schmidt, Godless Geezer, or Hector Defendi, who I left for last because he told me to put him first. Be one of these people and get your name slightly mispronounced at the end of most of my videos sometimes. And you also, besides just doing that, will be somebody that helps me to survive. And that's a good thing. All you other people that aren't doing that, shame on you for not doing that. Unless you don't have money, then never mind. No shame. No shame on that. Otherwise, lots of shame. So don't get shamed. Instead, do that. We'll see you later. I won't see you. And next and until...